that sign. A splintered post, a banner not a mark, hammered into the earth. So men in smoke and panic could still remember where the line was meant to hold. Then it went down, not with ceremony, not with some noble final cry, just one hard impact, one crack in the wood, one sudden tilt in the mud, and the field changed with it. At the falling mark, you could feel confusion moving faster than steel, heads turning, voices calling the wrong distances, men drifting a step too far from where they should have stayed, as if losing one point in the storm could make the whole battle forget its shape. Maybe it could. That is why the enemy aimed for more than flesh. They struck memory, orientation, the small visible truths that keep fear from inventing new orders. I saw the post lying there, half buried in churned earth, its cloth dark with rain and blood, its meaning nearly swallowed with it. And something in me rose hard, not because wood is holy, not because cloth can save a lion, but because surrender spreads through symbols too. Because if the mark stayed down, men would start believing the ground had already been yielded. So I moved toward it. The battle narrowed into one decision: or watch the hour come apart. Arrows still crossed above, mud still grabbed the boots. A blade struck my shield and rang through the arm, but I reached the post anyway, knee deep in torn earth, one hand on the shaft, the other ready for the next body breaking through smoke. That is where faith sometimes lives, not in grand speeches, but in restoring one thing the dark tried to remove. One sign, one point, one visible witness that says no, not here. The line still knows its place. I dragged it up through the mud, slow, heavy, awkward, the kind of work that feels far too small for how much it costs. Then men started seeing it. A brother to my right straightened his shield, another stopped backing up, a third shouted to the others where to close ranks, and suddenly the field had a center again. Not peace, not victory, but direction. At the fallen mark, slow, heavy, awkward, the kind of work that feels far too small for how much it costs. Then men started seeing it. A brother to my right straightened his shield, another stopped backing up, a third shouted to the others where to close ranks, and suddenly the field had a center again. Not peace, not victory, but direction. At the fallen mark, I learned that hope is sometimes an object men can see, something raised in the right hour, something refusing to stay buried, something that tells exhausted hearts where to gather again. The enemy pressed harder when they noticed, of course they did, because hell hates recovery. in the arm strain, in the mud-soaked grip, in the sight of brothers reforming around one raised mark, like resurrection in miniature, like God teaching the line to stand by, giving it a point to face. So let them remember the place, the marker they thought would vanish in the mire, the sign they struck down to loosen our hold, the post they expected to rot under the battle. At the fallen mark, they learned something holy.
Some things rise again, even in mud, even under pressure.
Even while the war is still trying to bury them.